Hello, ghouls. How are you doing? Ghost has just released chapter 25. The portrait and the ending might be one of the most shocking moments in the band's lore so far, because by the end of the episode, Copia may actually be dead, or maybe not. This chapter raises a lot of questions, and fans already have several theories about what really happened. So, in this video, we're going to break down the episode and look at the three main theories behind that ending. Let's go! The episode starts with Frater and Judith in the ministry. Judith is painting a portrait of Copia while he sits in front of her posing. When Copia sees the painting, he actually seems quite happy with it. Judith, not so much. She doesn't look very convinced by the result. Still, Frater tells the employees to hang the painting in his new office, which he finally has now. He then shows the office to Judith, who seems genuinely happy to see his new workspace. Once we get a good look at the office, there are actually a lot of small details hidden around the room. For example, we can see a poster for the film Right Here, Right Now. But interestingly, the text on it says right there, right then. That change alone is already interesting, because it suggests that the events we're seeing might belong to the past rather than the present. There is also a very interesting visual difference in that poster. In the original Right Here, Right Now poster, we can clearly see the hot air balloon flying over the city. But in the version of the poster hanging in Frater Imperator's office, the balloon is gone, and instead we see a large clock. And if you look closely, the clock appears to be very close to midnight. In storytelling, midnight often symbolizes the end of something or the beginning of a new era. On the wall, we can also see the 7 inches of Satanic Panic record. But instead of referencing Papa Nihil, there's actually a post-it note on it that says Frater Imperator. And of course, we see the portrait Judith painted hanging on the wall. Let's just say it's definitely a very interesting painting. Judith and the others look a little uncomfortable when they see it, but Copia absolutely loves it. If you look closely at the desk, there are also several personal photographs. One of them shows the original Ghost Band from 1969, featuring a young Sister Imperator and a young Papa Nihil. There are also photos of Copia's mother, one from when she was younger, and another one that appears to be more recent. These small details make the office feel much more personal. At one point, an employee asks Frater about the hot air balloon that appeared in Right Here, Right Now. Frater explains that the balloon scene wasn't actually real. According to him, it was something happening only inside his mind, a way for him to dissociate while trying to process the death of his mother. Which immediately raises a question: if that moment only existed in Copia's mind, why do other people seem to know about it? Eventually, Copia gathers the employees and says goodbye. He tells them he's planning to take some time off, basically going on vacation. At the same time, he reassures them that the ministry will continue just fine without him because everyone has been doing such a great job. Before leaving, he even gives Sister Imperator a thumbs up, almost like a quiet gesture to let her know that everything will be fine. After that, Frater Imperator leaves the ministry and walks away. As he's walking down the street, we hear Sid Vicious's version of My Way playing in the background. Interestingly, that song is often associated with endings or final moments in someone's life, which could be another subtle hint about what might be happening here. We see him getting farther and farther away, and then suddenly a truck passes by and the screen fills with blood. There's another small detail that some fans have pointed out. The bloodstains seem to form the shape of a bird called a cardinal. which could be a symbolic reference to Cardinal Copia himself. And knowing how much Ghost loves hiding visual clues in their videos, that detail might not be accidental. So, obviously, that ending raises a lot of questions. Did Copia actually die? Was it just an accident? Or is something much stranger going on? So let's take a look at the three main theories fans are discussing right now. Theory 1: Copia died. The first theory is the most straightforward one. Copia actually died in the accident. In ghost lore, the previous papas were killed so that Cardinal Copia could eventually rise and become the new papa. Because of that, some fans believe the same pattern might be repeating itself. If Perpetua is meant to take over next, Copia might have to disappear first. It could also potentially mark the end of the ministry storyline itself. Tobias has mentioned before that the lore would continue forever and that it would eventually reach some kind of conclusion. Theory 2: the accident changes Copia. Another possibility is that Copia didn't die, but was seriously injured in the accident. In this case, the accident could force him to undergo surgery, similar to what happened to Sister Imperator earlier in the story. Some fans believe this could lead to a change in Copia's appearance. For example, Tobias might eventually stop using the latex mask and portray Copia without it, allowing Copia and Perpetua to look more like actual twins. Another version of this theory is that Copia ends up in the hospital, possibly in a coma, while the story transitions toward Perpetua becoming the new central character. Theory 3: everything is a dream. Another popular theory is that the events of chapter 25 might actually be happening inside Copia's mind. I first saw this idea explained in a post by Rebel Rain Cosplay on Instagram, and it's a really interesting interpretation of what we're seeing in the episode. The theory connects back to Right Here, Right Now, where Tobias and Alex Ross Perry reference several classic films, including The Wizard of Oz. In that story, Dorothy eventually realizes that her adventure was actually a dream she had after being knocked unconscious. Something similar could be happening here. In Right Here, Right Now, Papa Forth hits his head during a stressful moment after imagining himself flying over Los Angeles in a hot air balloon. He collapses as his mother dies in front of him. Because of that, some fans think everything we've seen since then could be part of a dream or some kind of coma-like state. There's also a small visual detail that might support this theory. In the original Right Here Right Now poster, we can clearly see the hot air balloon, but in the poster hanging in Frater Imperator's office, the balloon is gone and we only see a clock. That difference could be hinting that what we're seeing inside the ministry might not be the real world at all, but rather a version of it created inside Copia's mind. That could suggest the balloon only existed in Copia's mind, meaning we might have been seeing the story from his perspective all along. And personally, this is the theory that makes the most sense to me. This interpretation could also explain why Copia never allowed Perpetua to come through the door. If Copia is unconscious or dreaming, it might mean he simply can't imagine him properly within this mental world. Ghost has always loved hiding clues and leaving fans to interpret the story themselves, but now I want to hear your thoughts. Do you think Copia actually died in that accident? Did he survive? Or is everything happening inside his mind? Let me know your theory in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss more ghost content. And remember,
go live your lives, goddammit.